Hello, and welcome to Relatable Bitches Podcast. I'm your host, Heinna.
And I'm your host, Marj. We're so excited to have you here with us today.
This is the space where we will dive into all the messy, beautiful, and totally relatable aspects of life. From family and friends to career struggles and everything in between. We're here to keep it real and have some fun.
That's right. Our goal is to create a community where we can laugh, cry, and feel understood. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get into today's episode. Any personal stories or experiences shared on this podcast are unique to the individuals involved and should not be considered universal or applicable to all situations. And welcome back to another episode of the Relatable Bitches podcast, or if you're joining us for the first time, welcome.
Hello.
It's nice to have you join us.
Yes. So either if you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube and listening, hello.
We welcome you with open arms.
Come on in.
Don't ever say that again. Oh my gosh.
Especially people are the one, if they're just listening and not seeing all my animated moves. So, yeah.
You're just come on in. Why not? Gosh.
Oof. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. I am excited about this one. Yep.
Grab your coffee. I'm drinking coffee this morning.
Have
you
water? Coffee, water. I have everything. Yep. Coffee,
Let
water.
us know in the comments what your preferred drink is, what your preferred beverage of choice is.
Yep. When you're listening or doing things or on your daily. Oh, actually, this may be a good debate. Do you like iced coffee or warm coffee? I don't like warm coffee.
It depends on the season.
Yes. Either way to me.
Cold, for me, it's caffeine is caffeine.
You're like, whatever I can get in.
If you can inject it straight into my veins, even better.
Get it in me.
Yeah.
That sounds wrong. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I was like,
oh, God.
Get it in me. Right.
Again,
okay. Heinna's out for a great weekend.
We are an 18 and over Why do I have to keep putting? I think we should just talk like that from the beginning. This 18 and over. Watch out. Not just kidding. Yeah.
So, current events. Heinna and I have been talking this week, and we've kind of a couple of times we've brought up what's happening because of the elections going on in America at the moment and things like that. We've been throwing our thoughts towards each other.
2 senses.
Give each other our 2 senses on what's happening.
Yeah.
It makes me really, really sad.
Yeah.
When there's at the fact that we're in the day and age where we don't have amazing candidates that people can vote for. Yeah. It's like people are weighing up which one is the lesser of 2 evils and let's vote for that.
Yeah, correct.
Instead of there being 2 amazing candidates where you're like, shit,
I
don't know because they're both so amazing. They're both going to do such great things for the country, for the people.
Yeah.
But I drives me absolutely crazy. That it's the option is which one is gonna fuck us over less.
I know. And it's crazy. When I first moved here to Australia, I don't want to name candidates, but when I first came in 2016, everybody was like, oh, you moved here because da-da-da's running, right? And you're just kind of like, no, I didn't even think about it like that. But that's what it is. Like in perception of other people and stuff, it's like there has to be other people out there that is willing and wanting to make change without, like what you were saying, like without pocketing money or without it being a popularity contest. Like there has to be.
Because that's all it feels like at the moment. It's just a popularity contest.
Correct.
I don't follow politics. I don't like it. I just feel like everyone's lying about absolutely everything. I absolutely hate it. I hate politicians. I got asked earlier this week, it's like, oh, who would you vote for if you lived in America? And I was like, I'd kill my fucking self.
Oh my God.
I would rather kill myself than have to vote for either.
Yes. No comment on that.
And each to their own. Like,
correct.
I don't care about anybody else's political, views and things like that. I just find it ridiculous that there's just not amazing candidates out there. There's nobody out there that actually gives a shit about the people. It's about their own pocket.
Yeah. And it's hard because it's like, it's kind of like, let's say, your country it's your home, right? So it's like, if you don't have good parents, good leaders, that's going to take you to the next level. It's hard because you're right. Like, I feel like if it doesn't benefit them financially, or in a case like give them one up as a popularity, they won't do it, and that sucks because it's hard to grasp that as, again, I don't want to say we're their children, but the people are their children. Like, how can we follow our leaders? And it's so hard because then people will be thinking, I mean, people will be like, oh, well, if mom and dad are doing it, what, like, then I could do it too. It's okay. So it's wild and out.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, I see the huge difference between there and here.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's probably things here that I'm like, oh, I don't know. But it's still like, it's crazy. I guess that's the right word to explain it all.
Yeah. Well, I actually made the comment to my friend this morning that was telling me about some of the stuff that Trump's been saying. And I just went, you know what? Number one, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because nothing that Trump says surprises me.
Yeah, isn't that sad? That's even sadder. Like, you're just like, oh, you expect it out of his mouth, and that's not good either.
Yeah.
So it's like, oof.
But there's a lot of things that we become numb to because it happens so often.
Yeah.
Yep. But I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about celebrities speaking on politics? Do you feel like celebrities should stick to their own lane? Or are you okay with them giving their political views and, telling people how they should be voting?
My thing is, like, when you go back, if you watch episode 2 of our odd podcast, episode 3 of the celebrities, the celebrities that are speaking out for our lovely new candidates, I don't agree with either. So it's like coming out of their mouth, and I'm just like, okay, it's kind of like, what is it called? You're guilty by association. So it's like, if you're going to be friends with those type of people will end up assuming, and look, you can have your own opinion and whatnot, but you're in a different caliber than me hanging out with my friend that's probably a druggie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that control of an entire country.
Yeah.
That, that I'm going to be like, I don't know. I guess it's just, it's freaky because it's like, everything, especially now that's coming out with celebrities, it's like, who do you trust? Like, how do you feel comfortable letting people lead when those things that has happened?
Yeah.
So.
I'm at the point where now I'm just listening to classical music.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that I can listen to because it just feels I'm being let down left, right, and center by everyone that every song that I listen to, everything, every movie that I watch, I'm like, all right, now that goes in the bin because they're child traffickers or human traffickers or child molesters, and it just makes me sick.
Yeah, and how do you like we were talking about, in before, it's just like I can't even like be like okay to listen to those certain things because it's not even like, look, I listen to things with bad words and right things, but it's like the person themselves, right? And it's so hard because even look, I love Ice Cube to death, and he was talking about that, like people think it's all on that, and it's hard because it's like, man, I grew up with these people.
What did Ice Cube say?
Oh, he said he was talking about how like people are blaming just the music, but it's like there's the people themselves kind of. It's not just like the music. So it's like
it's not just the music industry. It's not just the movie industry. It's sort of that upper echelon of fuckery.
Yeah, and it's hard for him because I guess to him it's hard for him because he's like, I don't fuck with that. So it's like now I'm getting. It's kind of like he's getting.
I don't think that there's such thing as an innocent billionaire.
Oh no.
I think they're all involved in all of this shit.
Some things.
I genuinely think that they're all involved in all of this, and they've just got a lot of people in front of them in the firing line before it gets to them.
And this is something I learned. You learn that thing about if there's shit, there's shit. So it's kind of like this was at church. Like, if I make you cookies, and if I put like poop in it, there's still poop in it, even if I don't.
Sorry, guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, I just froze because she said cookies, and I just had a flashback to last week's episode.
Yeah, it's again, Tim Tams are not cookies. I think that's it's like if I put shit on a cookie that I make for you, there's still going to be shit, whether I put a whole turd in there or a little bit of turd. Or a little bit of it, it's still shit. And I think that's what that's what we were trying to say. Like, they're all somewhat, I guess you're saying, about, especially the ones that are like, oh, I knew, but I didn't say anything. So you just knew, and you just, because you weren't in there, I don't know. Like, I guess that's another thing you got to think about. So it's hard. It's hard.
Human behavior is hard to begin with. Yeah, like to me, I don't see a difference between that and, for example, somebody being at your wedding, knowing that your partner cheated on you. And then it's not until you break up that they come to you and go, oh, I just didn't know how to tell you.
Ooh.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
You should have told me from the first.
Or when somebody comes out as gay and then they go, oh, I knew all along. I had an inkling. It's like, mind telling me?
Yeah.
I actually had a friend that actually stopped speaking to her entire family. She's gone no contact because of that.
Oh, no.
She didn't know. She had no idea that her partner was gay.
Oh, no.
And because he was trying to cover it for his family, like he didn't want his family to know.
He married her.
He married her. And then when they divorced 10 years later,
my gosh,
her family came out and was like, oh yeah, I had a feeling from the beginning. I mean,
that's kind of a big deal.
Even her siblings said the same thing. They were like, oh, you know what? I had a feeling about it. I just didn't know how to tell you.
They could have given me a little nudge. Nudge.
You say the words.
Right? Nudge. Or let's be like,
that's
hello?
how you say. That's how you tell somebody.
Yeah.
So in the same way, it's like, how do you speak on somebody else's experience, especially if you don't have proof of it?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like a lot of the times people will speak on things like Jaguar Wright. Nobody believed her until Cassie came out.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's true.
There's certain instances where I don't really want to say, oh, it's the person's fault. How did they know? Or why didn't they say anything? Because that's just human behavior.
Very true. And depending on
sucks.
Depending to, it's like you said, depending on who has said it. Because again, if maybe it's too far out of their circle or whatever, nobody would probably believe them. Because again, it could be an assumption. Because they even said, right, that lady, I forgot her name. She has been saying things like that, and nobody believed her because she was lower of the, not lower, I don't want to say lower, but like she wasn't a star, so nobody.
She wasn't an A-list celebrity.
Yeah, correct. That nobody.
So
that is very true. Yeah, that is very true. That is very, very true.
Yeah,
and that sucks because it's like, again, as much as you say, oh, I don't care what's going on in other places, like everything that's happening right now, especially America, is such a powerful country. I want to say an impactful country. What happens there will impact a lot of things outside of there, and it's so crazy. Like even what you were saying about this one about Google and stuff, it's like people think that because we are in our own world, that of course you have to kind of fix what's going on with you, but like all these things that are going outside of it does impact us, and we don't even know. Because I didn't even know the whole thing you were telling me about TikTok. Like I was just like,
TikTok's being banned in America.
And I'm like,
from January 2025.
Yeah. And I knew it kept having the talks and people talk about it, but I was like, oh shit, it's happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh.
Well, it's been banned off any government. You haven't been able to use TikTok on any government phones, for example, on your work phones. That's been banned for a little bit now.
Oh, okay.
But now it will be banned America-wide come January 2025,
well,
unless something changes between now and then.
Well, I mean,
that was the last announcement that I saw.
With the elections next week, I don't know. The world is there's just so many, again, you don't know. Can you imagine like all these things are happening in the world, and then they're going to be like, one of the first things they're talking about is TikTok is going to come back, and you're like, but there's so many other issues.
Yeah. I agree with that. I'm like, we've got bigger fish to fry. Yeah. Can we sort that out before we even give a shit about TikTok? Or anything like that? Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot. Look, the world's priorities are up its ass right now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Hey? Yeah.
But something I really wanted to ask you, especially with everything that is happening right now.
Yes.
How was it when you moved to Australia? How was it you understanding the Australian sort of politics in comparison to the American politics? And, we don't have like Republicans and Democrats. We've got Liberal and Labor. How did you transition, and how involved do you now get in Australian politics?
I don't.
And did you even get involved in American politics before? No. So
because
it's there. It's like, it's there. You know what's happening. But
I think I didn't look when I came to America. I was
when you
young.
Came to America.
Yeah, when I went to America, it was like everything was way better than where I came from. So it's like, I'm not saying it's better or worse. So it's just like, oh, okay, well and I was young, but as I gotten older and know exactly where, again, I feel like in all three countries that I know of, the things that I've seen that are in changes. Again, each place is different, right? Look, I'm not saying that every government officials is bad, because there's some that have done good. but sometimes they do it for their own benefit. But when I came to Australia, I didn't really know too much about it at all until actually my eldest is the one who kind of explained to me about it all. And I think it's for me, I don't know, I don't know, this is gonna sound dumb, I don't know if I'm smart enough to even think about what's going on. I feel like there's just so much, and I'm just kind of overwhelmed with that.
Yeah.
And of course in school we learned about Republican and Democrat and all the other stuff, but I don't know, I never really thought of it. So when I came here and I don't know too much on it, but how the system itself worked was a lot better than where I was.
Yeah.
And even just not even the benefits, but it's just how people were. And everyone's gonna get me on this. Even service in New South Wales, okay, that's a government thing. Look, I guess that's the only thing I can compare it to. Going in there, sorry, services, New South Wales. See, it's my accent. No, just kidding. They were so nice. And some people think I'm horrible, but it's try to go to the freaking DMV and wait 3 hours before the door even opens just to get in. So it's those type of things. Even in the government now, I feel like people, for the ones that I've met, even here in I told you when I met someone here that she was so real, she was so nice, and I was I've never met that back home. So it's I've met, again, it's not I met so many politicians back home, back in the States either, but I see the difference night and day. And look, again, there could be good and bad in everything, but from what I've seen and I've heard, I feel in economically even for my family, we're better set off here because the government, I feel is taking care of people here more. Again, everybody can have their own opinion, but from where I've come from or what I've seen, this is night and day. So it's more of I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah. We're exactly the same. I was raised to actually, be grateful for our justice system here in Australia, for the way our politics work, because, for example, my mum, we were in Chile. She lived through, the bullshit.
Yeah. You
didn't have a say.
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
It was a very different time. And look, there's still some countries that are under those sorts of regimes.
Correct.
And I feel blessed to live in a country like this. I just wish our politicians understood how blessed they are.
Yes.
To be a part of a country like this.
That's true.
At the end of the day, every politician retires, here in Australia I'm speaking specifically to, with a buttload of taxpayers' dollars until the day that they die.
Oh, they still get paid?
They still get paid, even after they retire.
Oh, okay.
We're still paying every politician that is alive
money. Oh, okay. And
I guarantee they die and then the money keeps going to their families most likely. We just keep, as citizens, we just kept getting ripped a new asshole every single time.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've got a huge issue with everything that's coming out and all these investigations into why the hell are we, the taxpayers, paying for these assholes to go on fucking vacations, to take all these trips and get upgrades, to not declare these upgrades that they're getting by, airlines and hotels and all the rest of it. Even if it's for free, fucking declare it. What are you doing? Why are you hiding shit? Stop. You being a politician, you don't get privacy when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's what you.
There is no privacy. You declare it. Yeah. Make the people know what you're spending our money on.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
What you're getting for free, because guaranteed, Qantas, I would assume, get some form of kickback.
Oh, probably some sort around the area.
Exactly.
Because
I'm pretty sure these people aren't paying for economy seats.
Yeah, because it's funny enough. When I worked at the hotel, because it was a 5-star hotel, we had Mitt Romney come, and we really turned the whole world around for him. And it's crazy because he wasn't even there the whole night. He was just there for the day. And you're right. I've seen the things that we went up, and I'm sure there was a reason why they got what they did. And look, it couldn't even just be your status, right? These people feel like they good at it because you're who you are. And again, good and bad. That's just crazy. But at least and I think it's just the people again that are taking advantage of it, and that's the hardest part. It's I don't know. Yeah.
Me doing events, I've had celebrities show up to events and try get things for free.
Yeah.
I'm the bitch that is like, no, if you are that much of a celebrity, you make money.
Yeah, you could afford it.
Pay the fucking $10. Don't try get it for free.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, you know that's true. Because then that's like every time we've had people, it's like, oh, can we get a free upgrade? Can we get a free upgrade? And I'm the dumbass that goes, sure, because you're who you are. But you're correct. Yeah. In a sense, yeah. I guess it's that, what is it called? That name throwing type of thing. Like, oh, I know John Smith, so you should give me something. Yeah.
I would tell people, I'm like, oh, then call him.
Right? All right.
No, I'd be like, call him.
You're that
let
close.
me have a chat.
Yeah, you're that close, and that's.
Guess what? Nobody's ever called anybody.
Yeah.
I call people out on their bullshit.
Yeah, and that's again back to it all. That's what I'm saying. It's just like I think it is like a huge popularity contest. Point blank. And it sucks, right? Because it's like, again, you're in that status, you're in that like game of like you're leading. Like, think about it. We're voting for the leaders of the United States of America. That's a huge role. And again, like, look, out of the two, I have one that I prefer. I'm not going to say whom, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty hard to be like, yeah, you're right. Who do you vote for that's less?
And in a way, you kind of just, and based on our conversation that we had this morning, it's like, shit. Yeah. I don't want to be voting for them either.
Yeah, because you're like, who do I?
But they are the lesser of the two evils. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's sad, right? Because it's just
really sad.
Because it's just more, again, it's kind of like we are definitely like, what is it called? We're like. This is getting sad bad. We're like orphans and we're trying to choose who we want to go with and be fostered for. And you're just like, I have to go with that foster parent. You're like, are you sure? I don't want to, because it's like, and it's hard to swallow because it's like, it's such a huge impact. Whatever's going to happen next week, it's going to impact even Australia. It's going to impact all of us, even the Philippines, even wherever country there's going to be somewhere, somehow that it's going to impact our lives. And it's a big deal. And I think you're right. Maybe, again, even now, just thinking about it, maybe I should tune in. Maybe I should understand a little bit more. I don't think I understand it all, but I should at least have an idea. Yeah. Some sort of idea of it.
But in saying that as well, it's like, well, you can tune in, but everyone's being lied to anyway.
Oh, let's talk about that. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Because a big thing that I found out and I looked into recently was the fact that, so for example, big corporate companies, for example, you create an ad or you go out there and say, oh, we've got 50% off. And then you get into the store and you've only got 20% off.
Yeah.
It's classified as false advertising.
Correct.
You can get in trouble for that.
Correct.
Yet a politician can lie up front. They knowingly lie. Yeah. And because they're under different rules and laws, they can actually get away with it.
Yeah, there's no
reprimand. They don't have to tell the truth.
Yeah, they don't get reprimanded for it either.
Fucked up.
Yeah, that's so scary.
That is really scary. So again, it's like you can know all this information and then go, but what's the truth? Because majority of it is going to be a lie, if not all of it.
Yeah. And then who it impacts too, because depending on like what.
I think politicians should get fined.
What is it called? Yeah. Yes.
I don't know why they're not.
Yeah, because corporate companies do. They get fined if you say those things or you say the wrong thing, or if their employee is the one who did it wasn't even a thing, or like them specifically. Yeah. And I think, if you think about it now, it depends too from what class you're coming in from. I mean, like social class. Yeah. Because there could be people that are like, I love him or her because, they've done this for me. But the other people, like, you fucked me over so many times.
And I think a lot of people are under the delusion.
Yeah.
That something has been done for them. Mm. I don't think that something has been done for them. That's quite self-centered.
Their own, yeah.
But they believe it because they are that self-centered.
Yeah. But I'm talking about this, I'm saying, like, the richer people get some sort of cuts rather than the people that, because...
Well, it depends. Yeah, Republicans are in office and it's the rich that get the tax cuts.
Yeah.
And when Democrat is...
But
in power,
but even if that, like I feel like
I
I saw the huge impact when I had kids, though, because when I didn't have kids, I didn't care where things were, and I didn't really realize or see or like how impactful it was, or even just like insurance. Like when it was just me, I had a certain amount.
Yeah.
When it was me and the kid's dad, it was a certain amount. Once we had kids, it just tripled so fast.
Yeah.
And it was because of certain things, laws and stuff that got passed, and I was like, whoa, like how are we supposed to survive? And it's funny because you don't really realize those things. Actually, this is a question I want to go into, because you know how like a lot of people are like, oh, I love this politician because they're nice. I love this because, but not. Do you think a lot of that is a cover up for things that are happening behind the scenes?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
I think they're just trying to cover up their own tails.
Yes. Because I get
cover up their own tails, cover their own backs.
Yeah,
their ass. Their ass.
Yeah, cover their own
like
ass. Yeah. Let's cover something.
Just cover up.
Right? Because again, that particular politician, everybody was like, I love that person because they're all for the, like my grandma, she'd be like, they're for the people, and I'm like, yeah, but look at all the things that has happened for us, the people. And it's like, yeah, exactly. And then when I had a time when I did kind of because it was affecting me majority, I was like, oh my gosh, like we just got fucked over big time in the butt, because none of us realized this was happening when we're just we think this person's so nice.
Yeah.
And you know what, back to it all, just because you're nice doesn't mean you're good.
Like, let's just kind of dabble into that. Aunt Jacinta, while lovely as she was, she fucking fucked over the country by leaving them in a shit ton of debt.
Yeah.
Now they're going to freaking be recovering for the next 10 years.
And they're still paying her after that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about New Zealand politics if they still continue to get paid. My assumption would be yes.
Yeah, and I'm saying she's getting kickback somewhere, somehow, different things, So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Great. People loved her.
Yeah, because she was nice.
But she literally walked away and went, peace out. Pay off the fucking debt now.
Yeah. And people, that's what I'm saying.
It's just, I can't.
Yeah, it's just that front again, because there's so many people are just being like, oh, they're such nice people, or that they're doing things for the people, but technically they're not. And it's again because it's covering for them. Again, this is another thing people has asked me before. Do you think the leaders are actually the leaders that are making the move, or there's this, again, this could be a conspiracy theory, right? Like that there's others behind them that are, that they're just a puppet, and then there's people behind them that are controlling them. This was asked to me, and I was like, because
we're getting into the conspiracies and the actual history of like the Knights Templars, for example, and jesters, and Freemasons, and like there's a lot of conspiracies and history when it comes to all of these different groups and them basically being the puppeteer, controlling the politicians and the people that their faces that you can see.
Yeah, because people ask me that.
What was that thing that came out? God, like I think it was like in the 50s or 60s. They were saying that it's like they only told the president what the American president what he needs to know. Because there's like, however many people above that their faces are never seen. You see the president because that's like the last sort of point of this is the person you think is running the country. I don't know. I can't comment on it whether it's true or not. Because I've heard the conspiracy theories. I know a lot about the history when it comes to Knights Templar and things like that because I love history.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in history that we could do a whole episode on just sort of
stay tuned.
That sort of stuff.
Because the only reason I asked is because that's what but like people are like, why would you, this again, when I first came, I was like, why would you choose him as a candidate? Like, do you guys just have puppets that are just controlling because it sounds so ridiculous that person is going to run for president.
Well, I even heard this story about why Trump, ran for president to begin with.
Oh, what? Please tell.
Apparently, this is all. Is not factual information. No. This is sort of what is kind of spoken around Hollywood and things like that. Because I'm a Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
lass.
I know. You just hang out with them.
Me and Jennifer Aniston go way back.
That's right. Not just kidding. Oh, man.
No. But basically, something along the lines of Gwen Stefani was getting paid more than him.
Oh, okay.
When she was on X Factor or something like that, and he was doing Celebrity Apprentice. I don't know if this story's true. I don't know, but this is kind of the gist of it.
Yeah.
But Gwen Stefani was getting paid more than him, and he realized that he needed to become more relevant. Who is the most relevant person in the world? But the president of the United States. They are basically the most relevant.
It's just to boost up his ego, and if that is true.
So he basically, for his announcement that he was going to be running for presidency, that was all his staff members that were at that first event.
Yeah.
That was all his staff members. They basically gathered everyone. They did the whole announcement. But then at the first rally, so the first time that he was actually going to be campaigning, people turned up. Like, or whatever it was. Like, I can't remember the exact number, but all these people turned up and were chanting his name. And his ego got the best of him, and he went, I can actually make something out of this. Like, people are actually listening to me. But his original thing was he was going to drop out.
Oh, this was
he was just going to run temporarily just to become relevant.
Like a publicity stunt?
Yeah. And then he was planning to drop out. And he ended up running because a lot of people actually showed up after,
And he feels good.
And he figured, oh, crap, people are going to listen to my shit. Let's go for it.
Do you think maybe there's a question, not just for us, but for listeners? Do you think he's running again just because he lost and he feels like he wants to prove something again that I am, still relevant, I guess, in a sense?
I think he's got a big ego. I think that's why he's running
again.
Got
a big ego. You know that sounds hard.
But again, it's like,
It's hard.
I don't read their policies. I don't read their lies. I don't get into that sort of stuff. But when I look at the bigger picture, I just go, God, I'm glad I'm not voting. Like, I'm really glad I'm not the one having to vote.
To deal with.
Because the head fuckery is a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Because again, I've seen the
not that
the
Australian.
benefits.
Look, I'm not saying Australian politicians are any better.
Yeah, correct.
They are just as bad, if not worse.
But not as highlighted, I guess.
But it's not as highlighted.
Yeah.
They're not as popular. They're not as well known around the world. They're not. No.
You don't have a TikTok? I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's what it is, and it's crazy to think again to circle this all around in the end. It's just crazy that as of right now, it doesn't feel like we're confident in our leaders, and whether you're in Australia or you're in America. But I think overall, what we're getting out of the episode is just it's hard to swallow sometimes that our leaders, whatever country that you're coming in from, a lot of the people are not confident in it, and it's hard and it sucks because it's like they're supposed to be leading us, and we're supposed to be
11. Oh, it just changed as I said it.
Oh, there you go. Oof. See, everything that we're talking about is on point, or it's a good thing.
The universe just confirmed it, guys.
Right? Thanks. But yeah, I think it's just overall that's the hardest part of it. Oh, please don't die. You know I'm not good with anything emergency. I just be like, record. I was like, I swear. Not just kidding. No, but I think overall, I think it's just more, it sucks. It's hard to swallow to think about that, because it's like the people that you're supposed to look, even again, in the episode we were talking about the celebrities, it's like, man, we looked up to these people. These people were, cool.
Exactly. And they've let us down.
Yeah. It's like our parents have let us down. Arf. So.
Do you know what? I'm disappointed. Yeah. I'm really disappointed in the world right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie. This morning was a bit of a struggle. This week has been a struggle.
Yeah, I remember from your Monday, the Monday you had.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Monday.
Oh my God. I want to tell you a quick story. So, I don't know if I've actually said this on the podcast already, but talking about Republicans and Democrats before we actually move on from this entire topic. So, my best friend, when she was going through customs.
Oh, yes.
When I got married in Vegas, my best friend had to come into America the week after us, or a couple of days after us. And when she got to Vegas, she was just in this kind of a weird state of confusion, happiness that she was there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But a little bit like, you're not going to believe what happened to me.
Like just shocked.
Just shock.
Yeah.
But my best friend basically going through, when she arrived at LAX, going through customs.
Yeah.
She basically got asked. The customs agent has her Australian passport in their hand. And turned around and asked her, are you a Republican or Democrat?
Like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Weird.
It's like, what are you doing here? Like the normal questions, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? Blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. Are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?
That's so weird.
She looked at him really weird and was like, I'm Australian. I don't even know what that means. Right. Like, I don't follow American politics.
Yeah. That's such a weird question.
It was so weird, especially when you're holding an Australian's passport.
Yeah.
Like, if they're holding your American passport, maybe. Yeah. But I wouldn't expect an American to come to Australia and be like, are you a Liberal or a Labor supporter?
Yeah. But why would you even ask? Is it not like a private thing? You shouldn't even... Is that okay to ask? I guess that's the question.
I'm pretty sure... No, the worst part is that I'm pretty sure the guy was fucking Mexican.
You know that thing you sent me? Yeah. I was like...
I don't know which one.
About the Latinos.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, no. But I think that's what it is. I think it's just... It's hard to...
Again, my coffee.
It's we need to get another one. It is a hard pill to swallow. Point blank, I really think it's a hard pill to swallow because it's like... When I even went, I had an American passport. And I'm walking in, they're like, why did you leave? Where did you go? Why are you not living here? And I'm like, bro... I was like, why are you asking me these
Have
things?
you seen the country gone to shit?
I was like, why are you asking me these? I was like, is that okay to ask?
Yeah.
But again, it depends where you're, I guess who it's
a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here.
Yeah. So I think that's
I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
Again, depending where in America. If I was to ever just... That's all I got to say.
Actually, guys, for all of you listening on the podcast, I have a really funny story. This is completely not relevant to politics or anything like that. But when Heinna was in America, I called her, like we were talking, and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 this hurricane. I've been watching this Hurricane Milton. Oh. What comes out of this woman's mouth? What hurricane?
Yeah,
she's in California and she says, what hurricane?
Yeah.
Like, it's a Category 5 hurricane headed to Florida right now. And this one, oh, really? Are we in, is it coming towards us? Like, yo, what the fuck?
Again,
you're in California. It's headed towards Florida. What the hell does that mean?
Again, that's what I'm saying. Nobody talks about it. Like,
have you looked at an American map recently?
I know where it is. Look, I'm just going to say the funniest thing. When you said that, I had to go deep dive. And my sister was like, oh my gosh, like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, this is what's going on. And I was like, see, it's just, they don't know, nothing's talked about there in that side of the world for the other side of the world. Oh, man.
The other side of the world, it's the same country. Maybe I don't expect Americans to know what's happening in Egypt, but that's a freaking different country. That's the other side of the world.
You know what's funny? That's just what I'm saying.
I don't expect you in California to know when we have a cyclone in North Queensland. But for Christ's sake, there was mass evacuation orders around the freaking state of Florida.
But there was a hurricane.
You have the audacity to turn around and be like, oh, is it coming for us in California, on the other fucking side of California, mind you, at the other end?
On the top more.
You're closer to Canada.
I am a little bit. Oh God. Oh no. Okay, that was hilarious.
Is that actually closer to Canada?
To Florida?
Than Florida?
Yeah. No, we are.
Jeez.
Man, I've only been to Canada once, and that was just through a stopover.
Oh my God.
But yes, there was
funny.
a hurricane before then as well that hit North Carolina and all that stuff. That was, all of it was bad.
Helene.
Yeah, Helene. It's just crazy that
I became an amateur meteorologist while these hurricanes were going on. God bless TikTok, honestly. I was able to keep people were live streaming their home camera footage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was just like,
oh shit,
this is so cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
And the only reason why I thought it was cool was because I wasn't there. I wasn't experienced in it.
Because Spain, there was a thing in Spain. Like, was it yesterday, the day before? Spain. In Spain, searches for bodies after unprecedented flooding claims at least 158 lives.
Oh,
flooding disaster. Yeah. But, yeah. So, yeah, that happened. Is it? Yeah. No, the 29th. So that would have been our 30th. Would have been, yeah. Yeah. Low pressure of high level levels brought, because of the rain.
Look into all this, what's happening in Europe right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy.
Freaking what's happening in Europe. Did you hear about Russia and Google?
No,
I was just telling you about that
so what
before.
happened? Yeah, tell us more, a little bit depth.
Oh, Russia just got fined a buttload of, Russia just got fined. Russia just fined Google a buttload of money. More money than what there is on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
So good luck getting that.
Yeah.
But I just, that sort of stuff I just find really stupid. Why would you fine a company more money than what there is printed
in the world? Where are they supposed to find it?
Apparently they're getting loans from alien overlords.
Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Fight. Oh, Jesus Lord. And again,
God.
It's just one of those things that you just, you sit back and you go, man, what is happening? I guess what it is, what is happening with the world? What is happening?
But you know what? I also think that every single generation, like we are not the only generation that's going through the what the fuck is going on.
True.
I think every generation has that. And it's like the older that you get, you either don't give a fuck anymore. Or you start caring way too much.
Like the Y2K? Just kidding. Yeah.
But it's like, I keep hearing now, it's like, oh, if Trump comes into power, there's going to be another civil war. Really? Is there? Is there? There might. But we can't fucking predict shit.
Yeah.
Like, so why is that something that people are actually like, oh, no, I'm not going to vote for Trump because this could happen. It's like, or I'm not going to vote for this person. Or I'm not going to do this. Or I'm not going to do. It's like.
Again, who, like if you were, like, let's say even 10 years back, would even think that Trump was even going to run? So the fact that, like, the world, like, you're right. I feel like nothing surprises me.
Every country goes through their, their own political bullshit.
Fun times, yeah.
And I love how I call it bullshit. You call it fun times.
Fun times, yeah. Fun time, yeah. Oh.
And every generation has had their fair share of fuckery and being dicked over by their government.
Period. Yeah.
And this isn't going to be the end of it.
Oh, for sure. It's not like things are going to be rainbows and butterflies.
No.
Yeah.
So.
That's why you know what? Just live your life. Do good in the world as much as you can impact in the world. And, just
that's what I say.
Enjoy what's going on because things could probably go to fuckery, but be nice. Be nice people.
Yeah. Like I don't make myself sick or I don't, keep myself up at night thinking about any of this stuff.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
It's stuff that it's relevant.
Yes.
In the world that we live in. Like whatever happens in America does affect us here in Australia.
Correct.
So it's good to kind of keep your eyes open, keep your ear to the, try and grab that information. But there's no point in sitting there making yourself sick and being like, oh, but the world's coming to an end where, I'm a big believer that we're humans we're going to freaking end ourselves.
Isn't that still? Again, like, humans, not the nature. Like what we talked about last week's episode. It's the humans doing to humans.
But I also don't think it's going to happen in the next 4 years.
No. Yeah. It's kind of like a brick by brick. We're all just going to.
Yeah.
We're just unlayering all these things, So, thank you. I think this is good, and I think it's just again. I think what we would like for everybody to get out of this is that, educate yourself, have at least some sort of an idea, but most of all, try to do good in the world because even your little difference does.
And be understanding to other people's sort of opinions. You don't have to take it in.
Yes, don't go crying over it. Again, which episode we were talking about? Which is like, if you're gonna be that upset, post anonymously. Nobody needs to know about why you don't like someone.
Exactly.
Like, Jesus Lord, or don't post at all. There you go. I'm just kidding.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend. Talk here, right? But yes, well, thank you. This is a good episode. And if you guys do you have anything else you'd like to add? Ask the questions to the lovely audience.
Nope. Don't think so.
Yep. Well, if you guys
don't forget to share, like, subscribe.
Enjoy, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And we will see you in the next one. And that wraps up another episode of the Relatable Bitches podcast. We hope you enjoyed our chat today and found something that's resonated with you.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more relatable bitches like you.
And remember, you can connect with us on social media. All links are in the description.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep it real and stay relatable.